just to file for a house today. Back in the days.
That's because you're so trustworthy, Fred.
Is that what it was?
And you carry the teacher's background check.
I said that to a guy one day, Walter Shea. He came there and met the board. We got all the international. He was put on the Panama commission. Ready to turn it over. Yeah. And Walter was 11 and a half months. He didn't sprint into that through the State Department. I think it's something to do with our title of our job. It's 11 and a half months. It was 11 and a half months for me.
I have used them. There wasn't much work to do.
Shorter is there, yeah.
Shorter is there. Only a couple of centuries, not several.
If they always look at the back, they're pretty fun.
I don't know. I think you guys like
They all did. Who won that?
well, he was a drinking president.
Want to start?
Well, we're going to call. I was giving Sam a couple minutes, but okay, we'll call the December 4th meeting at 3 p.m. to order. And either other communications to the board of the jury. There are none. Okay. Equal to the minutes for September 2nd. I'll wait.
You don't have to here to tell us whether or not he gets minutes.
They're all here.
Yeah, we don't know if we got to make sure which we do.
That's the September ones.
So we are recommending it.
Then I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mary. Second. Seconded by Don. All in favor, signify by saying aye. 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 Okay. Comments, presentations, citizens. Okay. We're going to move right into the staff reports.
Before we do that, are there prospects here? Or there should be if there isn't. Can you track these down over the first? I'll go through the staff report. Thank you. A couple things I'd like to highlight that occurred last period. At the Ogdensburg International Airport, we're experiencing a favorable passenger increase. The November numbers indicate a 10% increase versus prior month. That is with the schedule change as well, so we're seeing positive, continued positive results there. The Port of Ogdensburg, we're continuing to negotiate rates for potential 2010 heavy lift cargo. We're working on a number of bulk services clients for the 2009 shipping season. Other item of note outside the ordinary is, you'll recall we petitioned the New York State Department of Transportation to convene an administrative law hearing regarding the demolition of the Lisbon Church Street Bridge. That occurred a couple of days ago and is well. The Ogdensburg Prescott International Bridge, we had progress meetings regarding the bridge deck replacement. And specifically, one other item of note under other economic development activities is a joint water system discussion occurred throughout the period. The authority is one of 5 entities that are participating in pursuing the shared services strategy today. Peripheral activities, just a quick highlight for the 2009 budget that you'll see today. And over the next 30, 60, 90 days, continue facilitating the bridge rehab project, looking at projects for the 2009 shipping season, hopefully finalize the 2010 heavy lift agreement, and continuing with what I do recommend the strategy.
So we can finalize meetings to negotiate rates.
That's right.
You know, that's okay.
That's, well, it's within the realm of possibility, yes.
When you say heavy lift, what kind of cargo is that?
Well, there's a variety of things that fall in the heavy lift category. This one references with the ticket.
So that can push back.
project, as we understand it, has been delayed until the 2010 shipping season due to permitting issues with their facilities and also due to economic reasons. That's the only thing we have at this point. So the project moved from a 2009 project from our perspective into 2010.
Economic development discussion in the city and the town and the stuff. Is that the only support on
Well, JEDC, we did have a JEDC meeting, that went well, but specifically, item I wanted to reference was the joint water system. What this is, it's a collaboration between 5 entities, with the incorporated being one of those entities that ultimately would extend water services out to the Ogdensburg Airport.
Is there a good second in the goal on the economic development?
JEDC, the Joint Economic Development Committee, my understanding as well.
So, the three of us at our end, this is a grant application.
Yeah, we're mixing things here. The grant
There's
application.
two different JEDC that have, this is actually a shared service agreement application. I moved in out to guys you with them, OBPA. That's the water. Yeah, what was the one that reserved and dropped out of? That was the smart language. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to divvy that up. No, we just reduced the budget. I know they'll probably be successful in the grant application. So I know John's on the marketing committee with Kim, and we just suggested that
We got our 15,000, 15,000.
so we're going to keep living in the movement. Yeah, I mean, Don said, I think that we're looking at well, you just anybody else. No. I want to make sure we're keeping them moving. Yep. That he's still in a couple meetings. Yep. Any other questions, sir? Is that good, right? Good, done. Moving on to the chief financial officer. Not financial.
If you're looking for the October 31st statements, that they're not in there, I'll mail those out to you next week. They're not completed, so we'll get them and they're fine with under Ricky. So I'll get back up to speed on that. But I'm working on the budget this past month. With that, so we'll talk about that in a little while. And the employee health insurance premiums for 2009 have been released. And as you see there was a 16% increase with the existing premiums. However, we've seen some cost savings in other areas of the health insurance, through prescriptions, co-pays, things of that nature. To make that increase be about 7%, as opposed to 16% for health insurance. The change in the Canadian dollar, the American dollar, whatever you want to look at it, this caused us to change the rate of average quite a bit more than we're used to. What we're keeping up with that, we haven't received any complaints yet on that. Highlights, I suppose.
Any questions? We need to agree.
That was the highway issue that was the share in Toronto and was talked about promoted as a sponsor. We had a logo up on the displays. They need a couple bronze back and some branch order. And we get the logo in the future. Discuss Starbuck. The other was developers developing the terminal, which is a large acre terminal. Also, Scotia, they're looking to partner with ports in St. Louis Seaway to establish feeder line. So that's a good discussion on that. Now they're finding other choices for how that happens. So that needs to be decided whether or not another speed will take some. The dangers with the truck with that rail, they're loaded on the ship, smaller vessels, and go all the way up, and much further. and be transported out to larger trucks.
So it could be all the containers, it's going to be before.
Right. Yeah, we wouldn't handle that efficiently because we don't have to put the real crazy for you can't actually handle containers and all that shit.
You know, it's kind of actually tough about that because I spent probably 2 hours down in Fort Lauderdale, Forest. Couldn't get in there, as I told you before, it was high security there. But I watched from the hotel room the huge container ship out in the ocean. I'm watching out there, and I see less and less containers. And on the opposite side, they were offloading containers onto small ships and bringing them into the port. And that's how they didn't bring in the huge ship. It was anchored out there. It was just at the Fort Lauderdale. So, you know, when you just say, you just said that, in other words, they could have a large container ship out somewhere in the ocean anchored, like they do the oil. That's how they do the oil. They pump the oil up into Maine, or Maine up in that area, pump it all the way to Montreal. And it's found that out a couple of years ago, it's still being used. So, well, might be something there in the future.
I'd like to interject here with respect to the Milford terminal concept. It was a very important fight, and I'd like to point out that's what did that first fight on the first item that we talked about, the session.
We're still waiting on an interim report from the North Information Study. It's gotten delayed a little bit, and so we do want to get it this week. We have a steering committee date for January. Private sewer drainage should be coming shortly. So you mentioned we're looking at inlet cargo, traditional cargo was moved in 2009. Local utilities to rate utility line on Patterson Street, and we talked about that in the past. That's just and that needs to be there in some cases are not that's progressing and it should be done this spring. There's 3,500 piece road mailing back in Ontario. They don't have responses so far. We've met with in Montreal last Friday. Tomorrow we're going to be able to see a couple of next week. And so follow up on those. The billboards are going up on the Ottawa area. Advertising is actually 3 months started. It's end of December and through March. With various sites in the industrial parts there. And these are building clothes on there. Once outreach to wind turbine manufacturers. And lastly, we've got a Florida study there. We've read about and we're advocating. We're going after one of the federal officials to implement what they're recommending in the U.S. border. So we're asking as part of that to consider spur out for maybe Route 11 or somewhere that was part of the study. We're asking if they do some studies on this for that. Perhaps that's something to authority for that. Without the actual funds to do the study or cost analysis and all that,
well, you know, this Northern Tier Expressway is, I remember when we started this whole, venture to see if we could get something for the North Country was, at that time, Marion, and I had the support on the Pan-Duke, trying to get a 4-lane highway opened up to the Cornwall Bridge and to 81. And we knew there was just one section of the road. At that time, it didn't really meet the criteria for 4-lane, which was from Morristown to Ogdensburg. You surely could put it down through where the highway is not for itself. So we were talking about moving down through somewhere in the center of between Black Lake and instead of 37. And coming out kindly for our bridges, because that way they would cross the project down and build this highway. Since then, there's been a lot of studies done and everything else, and we're kind of sitting on the back burner. But I guess this all starts to come along for a lot of us is because of the federal dollars that they're going to spend in the metropolitan areas and in all the capital districts. And they want to twin the roads, they want to put more lanes in, more traffic in for these folks. Central New York is looking at a great deal of money coming in off this program and other programs on top. It just seems that northern New York is being left behind. But it's been my thoughts, my dreams is we need a one-lane highway daily to take care of our industries in the city. Now, here's our good friend Alcoa. Put a $600 million expansion in transportation. Isn't getting any better. And that's what it's getting worse. Because our roads are getting tore up. All the traffic we have. But you know, when we look at this thing, it's time for us, I think, in northern New York, to really to stand on this. I'm glad Bill is here with Ogdensburg. It's really not that. I mean, we are being we have a bridge. We were trying to get money. Senator Wright got us $15 million. Lucky he did. Because I don't know where we'd be today. It wasn't for that. And what we look at it today is they want to throw all this money in to get this economy in there. Well, what about the one country? What about the one country? And when they talk about rural development, if they want to do it, I don't need a Band-Aid to know we don't need one. We need to continue with Franklin County and continue down to 87. When we get to 87, that's going to be a great accomplishment. Because if you look at it, it all ties in. All the 4-lane highways tying up on 87. All tying on 81. We got this short little cog, I call it, little piece of a gear that we need to get into this thing. And I just see it as we're being off out. And it's not fair for people in northern New York. We need jobs too. But what an economic boost that we would have a 4-lane highway. Now, all of us in this room were born and raised here. And every one of us know we need it. And there's no doubt about it. I mean, it's just something that I don't know why we're being left out. I can't understand. And they got the right of way from Messina. You come out of Messina, you already got a 4-lane highway to their bridge. So when you get over on 56, they still got a right of way to put a 4-lane over on. We might have to make some little concessions where the Waterton bridges and stuff or something there. But that's what this economy boost that President Obama's talking about. And I just feel we've got to get on board that. We've got to get some people fired up in northern New York. And, you know, Obama can't leave us out. But he doesn't know about it. I mean, truly, he doesn't know about northern New York. He doesn't know what it is. He knows it's the United States. We're going to get left out here. And you know, I was telling the folks here, and I want to say very openly that Chuck Schumer was at CMS Engineering Services at the airport. I just happened to be there at the building trade meeting that day. And we left the building trade meeting to attend that meeting because we wanted to hear what he was going to talk about. And he came there to tell everybody in central New York, he thought, there was up between $30 and $70 million federal dollars right after January 1st. So we just dumped in there. The mayor of Syracuse was there, and all the people from Elmira, Bolton, Oswego, Watertown, they were all there. And the port, Schumer spoke on it 3 times. The port was sweet. How great it is, and how it's doing. How he helped get money for the dredging of the river, or whatever they dredged. They're telling wait about it. You know, here in northern New York, we don't seem to be mentioned in that great boost that's coming. So I don't know why. But there is some people getting interested in firing up again. Give it one last shot. And our chairman, our ex-chairman, just called me to go back again. It's just right next door. He said, I want to come to the meeting today. He said, just don't dare be left behind. Don't leave us out. Somebody without us. We need to energize it again. And I think John is, went to a couple of meetings and then he found out that the study overstripped it. Never done anything for us on the spur. Look up our bridges. He just mentioned it.
Introduced initially, remember that?
Yeah.
The cannon and stuff?
You were there.
Oh, yeah, they had all the spurs, and B12 was going to get spurred, 56. But I think it's time that we probably gear up as authority, and then also with our neighboring communities too, the city, Muscatine, we all start really making the noise, and get resolutions, letters of support, and
The
really.
last study that here expressed the last meeting on the camp here last week, specifically had never taken into account the international earthquake. The Northern Tier Expressway, one of the arguments was, well, there wasn't enough traffic, among other things, but the economic development didn't pay for itself, there wasn't enough traffic. Something doesn't square.
Seen it in Ogdensburg,
Because, exactly, because when you look at the Transport Canada traffic study, it's putting the bridges on notice that you've got to keep that capacity online and available for the future years because traffic is going to grow. Yet the Northern Tier Expressway didn't take that into account at all. It's a direct result of the Transport Canada study and only a capital corridor, which, you know, how long was your home? Why do you want to build a city? But on the one hand, you've got the Northern Tier Expressway saying there's not enough traffic, and this is basic maintenance that they're doing, packaging under the Northern Tier Expressway, and that there's not enough traffic, yet they haven't taken into account the Transport Canada study at all.
Well, the traffic just doesn't make sense.
Well, originally, again, I mean, wow, but originally they had the numbers for the bridges, and they had all the transportation estimates of the crossings. I remember we've seen estimates. I remember our estimates. They had 1,000 items in there. And I think they had some crossings up a little way through the North bridges. So they kind of just discounted all that. So they had a lot of stuff in there. It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate to know that I want to a lot of press out here got to understand that we've got a major problem here in Northern New York. And what it boils down to is this Halifax. You know, they're coming with these containers up through, and what they've got now is they're coming into Canada. They're talking about building a 4-lane from Maine to New Hampshire, but tying into the Canadian 4-lane highways up in Canada. I think it's way up to Jackman, Maine, up in that area, which will bring them into a 4-lane highway system down through 287, which will go to Albany, and then continue on to 401, which brings us right by us. It connects again to the west out of 81, which brings us to the Thousand Island Bridge. That's why there's plans to 20 Thousand Island Bridge. That's one of the things. And the international people that are sitting down in Washington seem to be hooking on to that and hooking on to it with the Canadians and making the transportation I don't know how we coalition, whatever you want to call it, committee, and they're hooking on to all the federal dollars. And eventually some of your federal dollars here in the United States will in actuality be tied into the federal dollars in Canada to do upgrading of their highways. And so let's see what all that work. But we're being left out again, and it just seems like the Indians are circling us. And, you know, we're the cavalry, but we're never going to be able to shoot. Because we're in the center that way. And I really do think that I'm glad to hear you say that. We need to fight this thing out. We need to do it as a people. Because this wording is left out. And I've heard these mandates before. And I'm not repeating what he said, but other people were there talking about him. We heard Jeff Lawrence at that meeting. He said, I heard this 50 years ago. And that's just what he meant. Now, there's a guy that can say that. Because he lived that. He knew what he was. But I think we need to fight for it. I think we need to make some noise, especially with our bridge right here, that we need another $16 million. You know, why not dump it in there? And we've already got a project in the school where we don't have the funding. So if they're going to dump money, why not dump some into our bridge and get it up to date? Let us go forward for the next 100 years. So with that, this week, we found it on that good. So again, like I said, my friend Dad Hacker called and was concerned he wanted to come and speak on this because he knows that the Bridge and Port Authority, the city of Ogdensburg initially went out there and moved this thing. And it was to get 4 lanes to Messina. And I'd be happy with that part. Because I always figured we would hook up the other part on the end. You gotta get it started somewhere. Definitely has to. What else you got, John? Well, no trouble? Yeah. Okay, buddy. Big walks.
The industrial park, we should have those RTU, HVAC, RTU installed by the over on Joe, all the bids were received for renovations. The office project will be received those highlights with the bridge, Green Peterson was on the way to completing the final drawings. We had progress meeting yesterday, and everything is pretty much on the schedule for completion of the final drawings. Also, final drawings that have been completed for the Ogdensburg relocation project, the bridge review in the DOT and the OBPA. Out at the airport, the hangar development project, the foundation's in and being backfilled, that's approximately 20% complete. Things are going on schedule there. Weather differs a little bit, but I think we'll be in good shape. There's a month delay in this structural steel. It's not really a delay, but until the steel comes, the correct packaging. The hangar demolition project is substantially complete. Later in your package, there's a change order to do some housekeeping for some odds and ends there that need to be taken care of to complete the project. Over at the port, on that first line, I'll just give you an update. There I have 72 barges. Well, as of today, it's 77 barges without sail as of today, and there's 9 units remaining. They've been doing it, in spite of the weather, they've been doing a pretty good job there of working through that, getting them up there. It's looking better every day, but I don't want to say so. They're trying to get everything here before Christmas. We've received approximately 34,000 tons of road salt. That's going very well with the rail cars. We did, since we last talked, we did receive one vessel of warm salt. That'll be it for the year. That was approximately 25,000 tons. And we've got both ships that we got in the main stockpile that we've been covered.
Who are the customers for those? The municipalities?
For
American and Morton?
American rock salt is mostly New York State,
Okay.
and the Morton salt is townships in the Texas State. We have upgraded the Fort Conveyor. That was completed at the end of last week. They were upgraded to increase their speed. That's part of the Greenfield grain storage project here. And Steve, could you just add about the yeah, just one of the like, I don't know if you want to call it unintended consequences. We have the original belt on there has been spliced 3 times. And when we increase the speed, roughly the belt went 105 feet per, I think it's 30 seconds there. Anyway, when you speed that up, the belt tracks a lot more, and it was just the observation and the recommendation of the people that because it's an original belt, it's 1977. It doesn't line up quite right all the time. It was going slower, it didn't track as much, but now it's moving. So they recommended that we look at replacing it. So I'm in the process of doing some things as far as the belt replacement. I estimate 250 feet. I don't know exactly what it is. 36 different ones. We shall not do all the way, but the last thing we need.
What do you think think we're looking for the ballpark.
You know, I think for the 250, even if it's 10 or 12 dollars a foot, that's it's just something, knowing how important this is, that would fail. That was kind of the recommendation. You can see it.
Steve, we're talking along with it, if you consider it or look for another backup, or we need to rent something to get it in there.
I haven't talked to anybody, I've talked to a couple of sources.
Who would have something like that in the area?
Power selling in this area, probably the only one I know of. But the area, we really need to walk in Syracuse.
Is there someone in there that,
Yeah,
for backup?
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, because sometimes we're going to have it. We should find at least a couple of them. I can't. How long is a boom? How long is it? How many feet is it?
The center point is out about 50 feet, so if you're looking at 125, 135 feet, it goes up close to 30 for that. You might be something a little bit less, but you could build it. I'm sure they've got more mobile units now. That one's
I'm wondering if Bear would have one more up for either. Might have something that we need in the bench. I'm just, yeah. And Bear had some, but I'm not sure it just owned it. And, but then you probably say where to buy it up to.
yeah, I've got certainly good. We've got a couple of
personal issues to take care of and call. What we did with the facility stuff is we reviewed everything, took no action. We're going to review it to make sure it was proper, and now we're going to go full board for you folks to make the decision on the changes or purchases or whatever that's done. It's finance committee in that. Oh, under the certificate. Okay, unfinished business. Business activities.
Our annual meeting is never arranged.
They moved it up, yeah, they moved it up.
I don't know what time it
You just started noon, no? What did you decide on that?
is. Years ago we could do it, now that's insane. So we're going to go.
I thought last week
4 o'clock.
I thought last week was about at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay. I can tell you right now, on February 3rd, I will not be here. We either got to move it. I can't be here. I don't think Roger's going to be here either. I'm going to the 12th of February. I'll be there on a Friday. So we will do it
When do you leave?
first. Which is Sunday. Help you folks. I mean, I'm just trying to count the board members that will be here. Who's going to be here? It'll be Sam, it'll be 4.
Check the calendar.
You tell me it's next.
It took you guys to together to get it.
that too late, the Oklahoma meeting, 17 to February?
You have less than a month to
Do we need it? You know?
Move the March meeting for the second.
I hate to do that though, because it doesn't try to cast some other second.
That causes problems down there.
So if they're both together, we'll have a later meeting in March.
Okay. If Roger's gonna be here, then we could probably change it back in
Usually
January.
doesn't.
You know? Okay. So, okay. Okay, the, approval of sales. Turn it over to you, where you want to start.
I guess it would probably make sense, I put this forth that we take things a little out of order. I recommend we go through a general business first, finish that up, then go into the budget, and then follow that up with the executive session, if nobody has any objections.
I don't have anybody else. No.
First item is the approval of the sale of surplus property. Some of these things I'll be bouncing back and forth between the board packet and the facilities committee packet, which you have in front of you, because some of the bills on the facilities committee packet. Specifically, we had two bids received, one on the 1991 John Deere front end loader, one on the 1973 Alice Chalmers Boss forklift. Price respectively $16,001 on the front end loader and $1,291 on the forklift. We met today, discussed it, and submit that for your approval.
If they've never been in this, I'll make the motion. You know what, better to slow it up. CW Green. Maybe I should take the motion. I don't have a financial interest, but.
That's good, that's fine. Well, we can make a motion. Done? Second. Okay. Travis, do you understand? Aye. I stipulated in there, we're not stored, connected. If we did this prayer for 5 years. This whole deal for that.
I don't have a financial interest, I don't think I can't, sometimes I can't vote.
The second item, right after approval of sale of surplus property, there should be a minimum bids on the second round of the minimum bids. However, there's not a resolution ready to go on that, so I think we'll hold that off until next time. It was in the facility packet, but it is not in the board packet.
That wasn't here.
Just the dollar amount on page 35 of your facilities packet.
I think we should approve it because we want to get rid of this stuff. Steve, to talk on this surplus stuff that,
yeah, we didn't get any action on all of the items, and we did consider this gate KRX, and then we had been on bid of $10,000. We talked and we thought going at the $7,000. Then we had the Ford pickup. We had been over 500. We saw it 200. And then there's 2 battery chargers for battery car forklifts. We had a minimum bid of $250 each one. Nothing on that. We just said that for those.
So you bring that back as a, do you need approval?
I know, we're just going to rebid them. We want to use these numbers.
that's fine.
And if we don't get any bids on it, like I said to Steve, take the pickup and the two chargers, they're way enough. We'll get more money by taking over the repair. Maybe they do. It's heavy. Yeah. Well, I got $200 for one car. I know. So we have a can. The door to walk off. He comes pick it up with a hook and away with it. It'll be $200 cash for it.
I had to say, I'll go to inside house.
Those were not good.
Those battery chargers have got to be heavy. Oh, not.
So this next item will hold until the tail end of the meeting, the 2009-2010 fiscal year budget approval. We do need to do an approval on that. I'll direct your attention to page 36 of the facility packet. The next item, approval of vehicle purchases. There was a change that came out of the facility discussion. Referencing page 36, the 0809 fiscal year budget had funds to purchase a vehicle and a pickup truck in the amount of $18,000 and $25,000 respectively. We looked at the contracts for the vehicles, specifically the ones that we were eligible to purchase under the alternative fuel vehicles, the water portions. There are two in there. One is a 2009 Dodge Caravan, it's a front-wheel drive vehicle, and a Ford F-150 four-wheel drive vehicle. The costs are $18,818 and $23,385.28 respectively.
Could I make a suggestion that in the report and in the resolution section both, that when you refer to the truck, you don't make it an FWD, which means front-wheel drive, but it's 4WD, which means four-wheel drive for the truck. You have them both as FWD, and the truck should be 4WD.
Okay, with those changes, we have a motion. Have a second. I'll second. The vehicle,
Caravan, what's that one used for?
We use the Buick 99 Buick saver. That's no longer over inspection, so we just using it for last night. That was the heavily used that marine.
So that will be a pool car then?
Yes.
Caravan will be a pool car?
Will be a pool car that replaced the Buick.
It will stay here on the lot, then it's going to be used to go to Albany for a
Yeah, we'll just say,
meeting.
well, we're going to park it out back, keep it in the parking. And then, John or Ray or anybody needs it, it's got plenty of room there.
So I think we're just couple to board and stuff for them to have this ready.
And then,
You won't be flying here, right?
well,
Santa. Dinner's here, huh? Yeah, and they have the installable feature.
that's what's
The details on this can be found in your facilities packet, page 37 is specific for the different options. What I can tell you about this vehicle, it is a white vehicle. It's the base unit, as shown on page 38. Base price $18,334. It does have two additions. One addition is cruise control, which was $237, I believe. And the second addition was the delivery fee of $245, which brings it up to $18,818 for that.
This hasn't gone, with Jim not here, would you be back with the group meeting to get the street in this budget here for tonight, or?
well, it's the one that we delayed because of the
Right.
So we changed all that and just moved it into tonight's meeting. We definitely need to get some vehicles here. We don't have anything to travel in, and it's been in the budget to purchase these. Just more as far as when we see it.
Yes, we've done quite a few months ago. With the search was in February, March. That's just 2 years.
As well as the expenses being on this year.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Next item is approval of the lease with Livingston International. This is your board packet. Page 12. Livingston International, as you know, has been here since February 2007. Currently expires February 14, 2009. This is for 536 square feet of space in the building at the rate of $5.20 per month for a 1-year term, terminating February 14th, 2010. Rental rate includes the cost of utilities. Also, with all our agreements, there's an insurance clause requiring Livingston to provide proof of appropriate insurance, naming OBPA as official insurance.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Questions? All in favor, signify by saying
E1 is covered back approving the supplemental grant from the New York State Department of Transportation. The director is what this deals with 2 projects, specifically the terminal building demolition and the packing precision approach replacement. The corresponding PIN numbers you see there. What this does, this increases the state share variable to $4,600 on the demolition, and the increases the maximum state share payable on the packing replacement to $45,700. This is more or less just a housekeeping issue. You'll see the reasons why they have to live together.
so moved. Do we have a second? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
The next item is approval of change order number 2, OBPA Environmental Services. This one, I'll direct your attention to the facilities packet, page 16. There is one numerical change in here. Under the report section, 4th line down, you see a number that's $15,063.62. That number should read $17,154.88 in both the report and resolution sections. Steve, I don't go after the details.
I can go over those, on that description, I'll go over those, either number 1 through 6. The Verizon cost was in the old building, there was what's called a D-Mark. In other words, Verizon brought a phone line in there for the whole airport. And in order to start the demolition, we had to remove that bill. The cost is reimbursable to us. We paid for that initially just to get the project started. And we can reimburse for that $21,125 there. That'll come out of the project. On number 2, there was a corner of the foundation that what would have happened, we replaced with new fencing, and if you took the alignment of the fencing there was a corner of the old foundation that was breaking away, and rather than come out, jut out toward 812 and back around it, while they were in there tearing that down, they pulled out $500. They pulled out that corner and leveled it so that it could go right through. So those two have already been done. The third one is around the old apron and the hangar. There were three light posts that were eliminated because of their power and everything there. We took them down, but there's no lighting out there. So what we did was we close to the fuel station. We proposed a new light stand we make that earlier to come down lighting. And what you see in there is the price of $7,300 for a 36-foot light. After researching, we had to drop it 10 feet. So I can't say for sure, but I imagine that's the most that's going to come. If anything, that's going to drop. That's what we expect for that. But that hasn't been installed yet. Yes. And it's, we asked the same question. We went back to them with, but there's with that area, they're going to put in a precast base. There's a little more involved with it than just there was a drum of speedy drying in the building, and it really wasn't, it was just oil, and it had to be removed, top tech had to remove it, so there was a price in there for $305 for the removal of the drum of speedy drying. Use speedy dry, yeah. Well, the old foundation is still there. That wasn't part of the project, and as a safety measure, it was proposed that we install a temporary chain link fence with edge marking and reflective markers on the fence, so 5 and 6 take care of that. If it was something as simple as just us putting that up, we could have done that, but really the reflector there, we just had to match all of their repair field and the regulations. So
how temporary is this?
Probably what we're going to do is look at the general apron. We've got to look and see what's going to happen to that area in the session. What we're going to do, whether that's going to come out, covered over, or whatever. But that parking lot and part of the old apron will be all dug up and resodded or reseeded. So we've got to look and see what happens with that.
Temporary is more than that's part of the budget.
Yeah, if it's included in the apron construction, it won't be 1 year. I apologize for the difference in that, but I just wanted to have everything there so that when we include it, that would be the most that would not exceed 17 months.
Well, that's what I was wondering about. We got all that fence on our side. Haven't we?
What's that?
We've got all the chain link fence.
We used most of that up on Wall Street today.
So you've already used my fence.
It's
Moving right along.
a good project.
We're pretty resourceful.
We're very green here, right?
You haven't mentioned it, did you? There's one of my fence.
Oh, just one last thing that the $2,800 is what remains, so it's still under the original contract.
So we're going to get 2,000 more back, though, so that gives us 48.
No, we won't. Oh, yes. Yeah, that you're right. But yeah.
Our budget is 28 and 21, so that's good.
Yeah. Don't fret that, because we don't want no more change orders. Do we have a motion on this? No questions. Motion is in order? So moved. Yeah, that's it. All in favor, say good, saying aye. Aye. I caught him doing this one.
Yeah. Give us a VSP.
I'd like to sneak one additional item in here, traditional supplemental
Okay,
facilities.
Stephanie, yes.
So in between item 2 and item 3, I'll direct your attention to page 13 of the facilities committee packet. On each building, it's been practice here that we try and match what we have surrounding it, and also run that before the facilities committee meeting to determine the color. The recommendation on the color selection for the various components match the existing T hanger, and those are shown on page 13. There's a reason page 14, your color chart is just Xerox black and white. That's because when the original color chart was Xerox in color format, colors didn't come out quite right. I believe, Steve, you've got the master one here?
No, I don't have that.
Somebody?
I got it, wait. It's there.
John's,
Yes.
there it is.
The colors to match the existing T hanger, right?
Did you just go over and match up?
Yeah. By the board that has it.
Just a chance. Anybody has any objections?
Well, I want that psychedelic green. I told you that was going to happen. With the real psychedelic green base and the red Let the guy down the hall and down the farm roof painted blue. The blue farm. Where the governor was coming. That's not yeah, they painted this whole farm. When Como was coming. Need a motion, I guess?
No, it is. It's just
I think it looks good.
Looks fiery. So it matches existing T hanger.
Your picture.
The next item is the approval of the local government efficiency grant for the water capacity study.
I would make that motion.
This is a good project. What this does, it at some point will extend water services to the airport and surrounding communities. What the genesis of this is a local government efficiency grant that's being applied for by 5 entities, 4 communities, and Bridge and Port Authority. We're the last one in the approval cycle here, just because of our board meeting. What this is, this would be a $50,000 grant that the city of Ogdensburg would be pursuing. Request $1,000 match support for each of the communities plus. That's correct. And the obligation here is, if there is no grant, there is no obligation.
Nobody knows that. You only got a couple of thousand and you get the grant money. Yeah. Well, get off track somehow. Yeah, I think you were a councilman at that time. No, was it? Was there? Yeah. Well, you know, we got all that beautiful water running by us. We got a city that can do it. What better economic development thing tool than you have? You know, and it's everybody's, for years, the youth and fighting that problem with the huge things. A couple of them closed because they just couldn't make certain products in it. So, I think it's a great.
The next one for ease of discussion is going through the facility packet. I'll direct your attention to page 30. This is Commerce Park, agenda item C1, approval of contract for Building 12 renovations project. The bids were open for Building 12 on December 8th. And December 8th, there's Bobby Craft Construction at a total cost of $27,950. On page 31,
truck that is excluded even though it says description of work.
That's correct. The description of work was based on my estimate. But on this problem, I pulled the carpet out.
None of them did the carpet?
No, that's what I was going to do anyway in my original one. Was that get quotes for carpet and do that separate. So I just pulled that out so that someone wouldn't put another 10% on that or whatever. So yeah, you're right. I didn't do the description of work. I understand that.
Well, it's not going to vote for this. I asked that question, Mary, at the facilities. What do they do with vote for quotes? They just, ask for quotes. Instead of 6 or 7 quotes, have them come in, look at it, put the carpet down, give us a price.
What's our threshold for bids though?
10? 10,000. So we'll be under that.
Yeah.
So,
The question I got is, there's such a discrepancy in materials. I mean, all the other ones are like within a reasonable range, but the low bidder is 50% less than the next guy. That's pretty wide. That's real
I
wide.
asked that same question, Bill, but if you look at it, the Seaway Construction, they're way down the labor, $10,000. So, the difference is running between labor and materials. I would say we will talk to them. Steve said he had talked to them about this, and I think his bid is okay with full cross. It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
The way I look at it, it's a wintertime project and possibly knowing I can't speak for Marcus. That's the contractor looking at it. He may have, there's a lot of items that are going to spare, like metal studs, sheetrock, ceiling tile, things you've accumulated that are generic, that are specific to the project. He may say, well, I just want you to guys who.
Do you know this better than the company better?
Yeah, Bob's worked over at the NH where he does really well. Really well work. What's that?
Is he doing work himself?
He's a crew.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, I know he was good as well.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. He was doing that. That's just an assumption. I haven't talked to one qualified, but I thought that not really business. Yeah, he's wanting to keep his crew busy for the winter time.
So you did look through the sheet station and the change customers?
I've got to ask him on the material.
Okay.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, the next item again, are the facilities package on directly page 32. This is approval of the lease of the Supreme Court of Appellate Division Mental Health Hygiene and Legal Services. This is for 2,424 square feet building crawls in the Commerce Park. This is the Jacksonville District Center former building. The effective date of the agreement would be January 1st, 2009. For a period of 5 years and 3 months, terminating March 31st, 2014. The important thing that ties in with our previous resolution is the fourth section of paragraph 4. The authority shall make structural alterations and improvements to the space as described in the attached appendix B at a cost not to exceed $34,950. That represents the bottom graph cost that you saw, plus an additional $6,000 for the carpet for the $34,950. Yes, sir. In consideration of the improvements, the lessee shall pay the authority additional rent in the amount of $1,533 per month for a period of 24 months. And that's going to be able to work with 2009. Or the month following which you expect to
Motion approved.
I need to make a disclosure that I work for the Office of Court Administration. I don't have any financial experience. I'll be close to the same people. I have a business conflict. I want to be
Okay, conclude. Question? Discussion?
There's 6 months.
Yeah, they have free space in Richard Pavilion right now.
Yeah, I just let January 1st to July.
They have free space in July.
Well, What would be 24 months, $1,533. That's right.
Just for the renovation. Yeah, it's 5 years, or the base rate plus the 9 years. The total value of this facility is $74,000. So we're going to be ballpark on this case.
Okay, now,
Jack, Jill did good with this.
yep.
Was this, Mike?
What you said? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right. Quick question, because there's a range over the Jack and Jill daycare and growth from that building got rented. 50% that towards the lease payments there. So,
The loan?
yeah, towards the loan also. It was reduced at one time, and then there was no payment. Then they said it was set up for rental, because it got rented, there's a percentage of the rental go back to that we pay along.
I thought we
We bought all on that.
Mark, that's what we're doing with our monthly. We're already doing that.
So, yeah, you are doing that. Based on the percentage of REIT, it'll go up. I don't think it's set to go up if you read it.
I don't know if it was rented, no, but when we receive the monthly rent payment, we pay $255. You're aware of that, Debbie? That's bad. When you do it,
Yeah,
review it, follow up.
yeah, that's all.
We're not giving you all the money.
I thought,
Brooklyn said it.
help me with this. This is before you came on, though. We've had an issue in which there was a deficiency, and we absorbed that deficiency. What was that for?
Brooklyn just didn't charge any payments.
There was something we did,
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know.
There was a, we took the account of that.
Deficiency for another, I don't think it was the first time. But we did so. We were lazy.
So you check it out, right?
I would.
Thank you very much.
First item up under the Port of Ogdensburg is approval of transfer and storage agreement with the New York and Ogdensburg Railway. This is for this is an annual agreement for loading of product. Virgin Port Authority provides a farm tractor at the rate of $12 per rail car. All fuel will be supplied by City of All Services, and then the new agreement January 1st, 2009, and December 31st, 2009.
And that was just future power takeoff, is that right? And that worked well. We haven't had any wear and tear on the tractor because of that.
Motion made, Mary?
Steve, I'm asking you a question about the tractor. So we use this for the power takeoff so that they can do this. Yeah, and we've already approved this once before. We've had no issue with making the tractor or anything.
Reaching it out, right, Second?
You're not going to embarrass me, Fred, but
No, I didn't. I was asking if they would agree to that. That's what I was supporting.
not a problem.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Second item for the port, page 21, agenda item D2 is approval of port handling agreement with Casco. Casco's been a long-time customer of the port. You can see the 2009 shipping rates there. And then it will be January 1st, 2009 through December 31st, 2009, along with appropriate proof of insurance.
Second, that motion by Bill. All in favor? Aye.
Outside of the budget approval, the last regular business item is item D3, approval of transfer and storage agreement with Drummond's. This is the 3,000 tons of dry distiller grains at the Port of Ogdensburg that correspond to the lease for 4 years. This is a short-term lease, January 1st, 2009 through February 28th, 2005. Drummond's is also required to provide the appropriate insurance coverage.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
On page 10 is a good reading of the board packet. combined with the actual memos that Mark and I sent out as well. The authority's annual budget for the year ending March 31st, 2010, has been prepared by staff. We'll go into discussion on that, and then at a high level, there's a couple of key things that you need to know regarding this budget. Important items to note: the authority does not draw upon reserves for the upcoming fiscal year. The airport continues to be a challenge for us with a net operating cost next year anticipated at $270,000. We'll talk about a $25.2 million capital plan for the authority, $660,000 of which is completely funded through available cash generated from authority operations. Outside funding sources remain significant components of the authority's overall capital plan. We continue to cover our debt service requirements by positive net operating profit. That's resulting in fundamentally flat revenue and decreased expense projections overall. One other important item to note: the budget projections for fiscal 2009 do not include turbine project revenue and expenses for the reason that you see stated. And at this point, let's turn it over to Mark for discussion on the authority's budget.
I want to go through this page by page and try to touch on the significant increases or decreases in various items. Things are kind of staying the same from year to year. I won't talk too much about them, but please feel free to jump in with questions anytime you want. If we look at the blue page first, very quickly, that's the combined budget for both the bridge and the port for 2010, 2009, and the actual for 2008. And the reason we have those three columns is that's the way the state requires the budget to be presented. So we have 2 year budgets and 1 year of actual metrics for the state. For the 3/31/2010 budget, we've got revenue of $5,575,000 compared with $5,565,000 a year ago. Expenses of $3,757,000, leaving us net operating profit of $1,847,000. We have various debt requirements of $1,157,000. Positive cash flow of $9,000. That is the overall budget at a high level. The detail that lines up. This is current year's budget along with the future year budget, and the changes increase or decrease for those items. So you want to kind of add them, look at all yourself. We'll start with the bridge fund, and don't get too discouraged. This takes a while because a lot of the expenses that we look at on the bridge fund are the same schedule on the port fund. So we won't look at them twice.
Mark, can I just jump in here really quick? Folks, when you see that column that says 3/31/2010, that's what's referred to as our 2009 fiscal year budget. The 3/31/09 is our fiscal year 2008 budget. Just so you've got everything in the proper context. And just a reminder, our fiscal year is March 31st.
So on the bridge fund, page 1, we have revenue of $3,202. Expenses of $666 for an operating profit of $1,500. Page 2, revenue of $3.3 million in detail. There's a large there with the bridge flow. Just to take one step back, the bridge fund itself is, of course, the International Bridge, the water station, this bridge administration building for expenses, and the new food stores. So that's no federal bridge fund or anything there. We're talking about. Bridge flow revenue is expected budget to be $1,860,000. What we've done there is we've taken some of the traffic volumes over the last 3 years and tried to estimate what's going to happen. For 2008 year, we're really on our way to the actual $556,000.
at $564,000. And for 2009-2010, we're lowering it to 541,000 crossings based on the recent crossings we've seen in the last 6 to 8 months.
That's the kind of trend analysis.
Yeah, turn analysis, new product crossings from 12 annually, and then minus 10. Now, we did our last one this year, 2008. We had a crossing and that's 541,000. The next area is the border station in the back, building rentals. Those that are long-term contracts, pretty concrete numbers, just adjustable. The border station will be the back building $30,000. Of that $1,104,000, $801,000 will be paid off the bonds annually. $5,000 of that is land rental. The remaining $297,000 is the management fee. Cover the expenses. So we're trying to
I understood the change in Canadian outlook. I mean, obviously, the guy who's does that throw us off? Or do we kind of fill that in?
What we do price-wise, profit-wise for us here, we try to make the Canadian dollar equal to 275. Canadian dollars lower, they do more profit rate. So hopefully at the end of the year, we've got a pretty even Canadian exchange gain and loss. Okay. Now, the dollar affect crossings? Yeah. We don't really risk there to lose or gain the money. So we don't want the dollar changes, that's the question.
Yeah, that's right.
To try to keep pace with the change. Okay. The other red income is mostly this one right here. There's a few tenants in the border station, next to the one temporary border station. You get supply chain. And of course, the big one here is the UB3 stores. And that again, the $120,000 is kind of tied into the old numbers because that's what we're going back to the crossings. This year, I think we're going to $135,000 in this division over next year. Down to miscellaneous income. There's income of $35,000 compared to $70,000. Basically, due to lower rates. I'm using that as a 1.75% $20,000 to that figure. We're going to be a little short of what we did income this year because of the drop in interest rates.
You're using 1.75?
I'm using 1.75, yeah. Some of our CDs are higher than that. A lot of them in the markets are about 1.1. The investment at this point. What were they? The CDs were one matured at 5.3, 4.7, and some of the money markets were 3.5, 3.25. Those dropped pretty quickly.
Yeah, significant change.
That's the revenue on the bridge fund. On page 3 and page 4 are the salaries and wages. Employees. The first section is management. There's 4 employees there. This year's compensation for management budgeted to be $330,000. Last year, just for comparative sake, was $384,000. The reason it went down, of course, Bill retired. Some of that was Steve's promotion, and the rest of that is the annual raise of $13,000. Except the changes, and that change is 53. Those 2 numbers. The 4 collectors, we have 4 full-time 4 collectors, 2 liberty 4 collectors, and holidays and whatnot. This year it's at $255,000. This year it's at $223,000. The only difference there is the annual raise from CSVA contract. There's no change there. Bodies up there.
Aren't these are all gross wages, or is it total compensation?
That's gross wages.
There's what that is.
No. Next section of maintenance of $785,000.
year was $671,000. A couple of reasons for that. Under temporary loan shelter, $60,000. That's up $32,000. We just see a bunch of more activity this year on the court than we did last year, specifically for the one customer. So the temporary bridge crew was up $8,000. We're going to expand the season. There's a lot out there with the redecking project. So we upped that from $60,000 to $68,000. And there was one new position there, the maintenance supervisor, budgeted $38,000, the second line in that category. We're budgeted at zero last year. And what we aimed after Bill retired. We had Bill on the budget last year, and that's what we did like that, flopped out. And on page 4, support staff, support for Keisha. There's no change there other than the annual raise. The finance department, same thing, the same for individuals. So overall, our wages are $1.6 million, which is a 5.6% increase over last year. And on page 5 is the employee.
Mark, just thinking, I know I promised I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. I disagree with the policy that's in effect here. I think an automatic 5% because of policy here. I think that should not happen. I think that ought to be through discretion. I know my complete staff disagrees with me on this point. Especially in these economic times, this ought to be something that's important. I would recommend that the board reconsider that policy as something because it's just.
Wait a minute, the policy we're speaking of, though, is that CSEA negotiates for unrepresented employees. Is that correct? And then whatever number they get is then reviewed by management, and we look at COLA, I think it is, and decide which one's higher and adjust salaries on that basis. So if there is no mechanism in place to give non-represented employees an increase, I think we need to put something in place to do that. And I agree, maybe a mechanism that says a particular dollar amount or percentage amount isn't correct, but we do need to have a mechanism. It's not fair that our represented employees, negotiate something and then our unrepresented employees don't have something for a platform in which to come to the board for.
I agree. It's smack there in the policy, though. There is a mechanism out there.
Right.
Okay.
But say if we get rid of that one, in which
Okay.
the 5%, we need to have something more mechanism. And I think that was the reason that, and this was before I did one, and this was here. There needed to be a mechanism at one point in time for non-represented employees to be able to basically keep up with represented employees. I think at one point in time something happened though where COLA was way out of whack with what the CSEA people got, the management got, what the representative people saw as, what a crash. So maybe it's something we should look at. But there needs to be some sort of mechanism in which, to allow that.
I would agree.
We do, but if the mechanism is, the threshold is whatever CSEA negotiates, and the ceiling is whatever COLA is. Am I right?
Actually, I think it's not dependent on the CSA contract at all.
It's COLA?
It's the Social Security Administration's increase every November for the Social Security recipients. And then that's what we use for our increase.
Automatic 5% increase in anybody's.
It's a minimum.
Non-represented, which is only 6.
What's that?
Non-represented people. Yeah, just 6 people. Right? Everybody else is negotiated. Yeah, 6.
It just
6 or 8
feels wrong here. It's back up in time.
Yeah, actually, it is.
Well, it doesn't sound like that's there. It sounds like there's an automatic increase.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, no, automatic.
But it's dependent upon this.
2.7 to 5. The highest is 5, and the least I think is 2.5.
Goals and objectives and
Sorry about that, folks. I can't supply on this issue. I make a sad thing about this one.
So, now that you've opened this up,
What is the raise for the staff people?
5.8.
Representative.
So 5.8.
So it's 5.
So you're gonna get 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So next year you might get 2.
No, this is.
Oh, you're gonna get 2.8.
5.8, I suppose. Yeah.
So there is something to it. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, it's automatic, it's not under board control, and that's why.
So everything.
The SBA is automatic, though, too, right? I mean,
It is under board. Let's clear something up. It's all under board. When we approve this budget, if there's something that we want to look at as far as this poll or whatever you've been going, these guidelines, this board can make a decision. So it is. There's breaks here. I don't want people to think it's an automatic. We're just giving them money. And I don't have a problem with the mechanism we put in. I thought it was fair. Because they can't go over 5, they can't go under 2.8. And the collective bargaining people usually got between 3.5% and 4% increases.
So I don't think they should link management to the.
No, I don't think so either. That's why we put it in place.
Any, performance-based objective.
For a long
when
time.
you have it, that's really the
But
point.
for a long time, these folks here, some folks here didn't get any raises. Management did. And
that's
Mary's
right.
right, we straightened a lot of this out.
That was before my time.
Right, I mean, we have performance bonds and performance bonuses and, but everything's fine. Okay, your point is well taken. Move right along.
Well, I don't think we should be saying I'm going to give Steve this raise or John that raise. That's not our job. That's the executive director's job. So
That's not what the policy says.
I'm advocating that the policy, the entire policy, be appropriate.
Well, that's
Reconsider the full board at some point.
That's fine. You can bring that to the personnel, right? Governance committee, well, government's changed so many things, I'm not sure what committee it belongs to from. We didn't have governance committee when we did this stuff. Back in the days. Okay.
personnel.
That might be some back to the board.
I guess we just touched on that. The assumption there for the 6 management people is a 5% increase effective January of 09 and 3% for the last 3 months, starting January of 10 to March of 10. So the first 9 months we know, last 3 months is a guess. The employee benefits on page 5.
That's still running about a third of it. Salary.
Yeah, calculated that.
Yeah. Got it, happy mark.
What we have there, that includes retirees also. Health insurance, of course, is the biggest employee benefit cost-wise. And I think there's other small stuff to look at the bottom schedule here, where they're lined up by, I call it natural class, health insurance retirement, what we had 09 and then 08. There's $260 this year for health insurance coming in. $63 for 09. The changes there, the employee premiums for health insurance are going to go up by $30,000. Prescriptions, other claims, other things are expected to be down by 18, and the retiree premiums are expected to be down by $6,000, leaving that change of a positive 6 there. Increase for health insurance. These are closing that. So they're not very well fixed in the
Well, the thing I'm bringing up is that even though we have negotiated with the union for a union to pay a little more in health costs, insurance costs, we're still running at about a third. I mean, we, the authority, is still running at about a third. We've not gained asking them to do that.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. That percentage hasn't gone down there. That's staying the same. Retirement, we received the invoice for the next year in October, paid it in September recently, and we've got a pretty good idea of what we know what the rates are for 2010. So $130,000 is a very solid number there for retirement. Like it's of course based on wages, so we're going to have $46,000, it's going to be close to actual. experienced modification rate right now is about 12 months ago. A couple of other larger claims kind of dropped off the shelf in the past 2 or 3 years. As a whole, they haven't had any more lights to replace them. So we're going to have a little raise next year. So I believe that provided citizens. On the flood insurance, we paid directly. We did not have a rate for that. We have a pretty good idea the past 3 or 4 years in the commission group what that's going to cost us. So we're estimating $325,000. Dental care, vision care, those have gone down to the lower census. We have 2 less than 147 a year ago, a couple years ago. Saving us a total of $632,000. So they've actually gone down $7,000. Page 6 and page 7 are the maintenance expenses for the bridge, for the building, for the roads, the leading through the summit. Shed storage has not changed. Further maintenance is all down steadily. The big reason there is the second item, boiler repairs and piping. We don't have a major repair stated for 2010. So we reduced that by $6,000. The grounds maintenance has increased slightly. Sand salt ice pump, the salt prices, kind of leveling there. The total paving, for the $2,500 pump place with us, there may be something on the roof in there. In the spring, we get that. We'll make one out of it before we can proposal. All the whole of the state, basically the same, 51 to 54. Page 7 is the equipment. We're going to do some things that have changed a lot. Pretty much the order station. It used to be its own page, and now it's kind of consolidated on 3 lines there. Storage maintenance, the janitorial, lighting, plumbing, HVAC units. Storage maintenance, the snow removal, septic tank, equipment for contracted services, those are the heating and cooling, compressors, elevators in the big one, generators, security, safety platforms, those types of things. And we include in the statement of that. So total maintenance is $464 to $168. Page 8, bridge. Storage there, but chloride of down, heat, industrial functions. We want to supply of stuff from everyone in 8 years, so we didn't have to buy anything. Minimum purchase requirements there, service budget in order. So we got some $12,000.
Now, with the medical surveillance down east for them, is that portion of the work?
Sorry.
Dripping?
No, the medical surveillance is the same. What we found is it's a lot cheaper than I've estimated here. For the first 2 years, we thought it was a more extensive, and the hospital does a good job.
That was based on where we were in the process now.
And so we just lowered that to the stuff.
So most of that is, Steve, we have an original screening for the employees that work on the bridge for lead and blood testing and stuff here.
And they were
And at the end of the season, they run through the same battery test. The actual cost is much closer to 25 than 35.
You're going to be thinking of coming back as far as another 5,000 safety training? Is that a joke?
Page 9 is the safety inspection for the bridge. This is our year for the January inspection. We do have 18,000 in there for every kind of inspection. Hopefully we don't need to go like this time. Page 10 is our utilities. For this building, for the garages, we pay this over the cell. Street, effective 31/9/2010.
I ask a question on this? Last week in the Waterford Daily Times, there was an article, the New York, St. Lawrence Gas, with the GSP, for approval of an increase in distribution charges, and based on 1156.30 for an average household, that will equate to $128, which is an 11% increase in distribution costs. Shouldn't we at least add 11% to our natural gas over here?
Distribution costs will be one portion.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, I'm very nervous with the fact that we've actually gone down here, after reading that sort of an article, that in no offense, my feeling is the St. Lawrence Gas from PSC, hoping to go people like Home to Go, and every other, telephone company. So I'm a little nervous about keeping these numbers not even the same, but lower. That makes me, to me, that feels irresponsible.
I ran some actuals this morning. From 06 to 07, the price went up 4%, from 84,000 to 87,000. And from 07 to 08, it went up 3%, from 87,000 to 91,000. Just, that's the difference in the last couple of 3 years.
The price out there is dropping by the day on the commodity. So it's, these cracks that you increase, you go flat, or you go
The budget purposes, I feel that our budget needs to be conservative representation, not a factual quality.
I disagree. I think it should be accurate representation.
Right.
Based on what's going on with after the process. That's why everybody's market is consistent with the 2008 budget. But we can revisit that.
If we even do that on the paper, there's more than that.
I saw the article this morning.
Okay, so we're going to update last.
So what would you recommend?
If we took the 3% buffer,
Is that your recommendation?
that's
I
fine.
support it. It's a 2%.
Might be close to 3%.
Motion was made, Mary, I second it. All in favor, signify by saying
So
aye.
here's my other question, then, if we do that with this, then do we also move it down the line and go to electricity for the 3% as well? That's what I'm thinking, I think we need to be consistent, I wouldn't think we should.
Oh, I thought we were talking about across the board. Okay.
We talking about the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but water and sewer, I don't know, water and sewer.
The mayor's looking at you. Give it up. I guess, you do a 12-month rolling average, is that what you use for these, Mark, or what do you use for your budget?
I use the last 3 years of audited numbers. So yeah, 12 months ending, pretty sure you know that I used for the history there, 4%, 3% increases.
She didn't take like your last, take your bills from now, what you got now, and go back 12 months rolling?
No, I didn't.
Because that's kind of picked up. I've done 3 budgets. This is my 3rd budget in the last 2 months. Hospital, $84 million budget for this one. And we've been looking at looking at the 12-month rolling because we had some spikes, but it's come back down and it picks up that variance.
Oh, you're talking about roll, I think you.
I'm talking about starting with your 12 months, going back, like, for example, your most recent bills, October, for example, go back to 12 months and see what your variance was on that versus, because that's going to give you probably a more accurate figure. What your real consumption. We did the same with the city with our gas, because gas is down dramatically. It didn't go up probably again, but probably like where it was, so we've done the same with the city.
In the same period of time, it was gone from $150 a barrel down to $45. That's the reason it's the other day.
And that's why you got to use kind of the outlook and crystal ball and all of it. You got stung last, everybody got stung last year on salt, you got stung on gas. Now you got electric and natural gas too. We all got stung in that last year. I think there's some good things that come from. Yes. I guess from my perspective, I don't like this. I think it's just something you can monitor and watch and see. I don't think it's a big deal. They're probably going to pick it up. You're going to use the March 31 to use back, right? As you said, we probably got enough in it to pick that up. I don't know.
And I looked at the 6 months ending October and October, virtually the same. The most recent, if you look at some ending October, 7. Motion been made by Mary and seconded by me to put 3% in there on all the utilities.
So 93 would jump up to 95 and change, is that what you're saying? 96,000.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sure.
So round numbers, that would take the category from 93,000 to 96,000.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that then, so we're gonna have to put that number up on the list. I'm for it.
That makes sense. Our hospital, our utility cost is such a gigantic number for business. I track it by month, by square foot, by day, everything. I've got it. We track it that close because that's an area you got to utilities over there. You can control.
Every household is tracking everything now. I can do it. It was really here in the news the other day. Up in Syracuse. They're talking about, as he said, that gas is down to all down to 45 a barrel. And this one gentleman said, yes, that's why people are still using the system that they do. They're not driving their cars. They're not driving them. I love it. Yeah, and they take down the American people enough. They're all getting on them trains and stuff, whatever they're doing for transportation. And they're not going to go like they did before back to that car. And I think these people know that. I think it's great to see America moving.
Yeah, but we can nice have a resource like that, if we could have an option for you.
But like Bill said, if we don't keep track of this natural gas, I don't do anything. My wife, she's on that thing, she's on it every month. She did it last year, $300.
Thinking that's the right one.
That was a gas bill.
Easy, how do I more? We'll find out if the $16,000 annual bill is worth it, right? Tell Tanner to go to the website.
He does.
Yeah, they only have $4,000.
Page 11 is the insurance. These are our auto, property, liability policies, everything that relates to employee benefits. Really, our actual premiums for 0809 are $228,000, and we've budgeted a 10% increase for those, to come up with $250,000. Since I've done this, our insurance agents gotten back to us expecting the April renewal to be flat. So, good news is we might be too high in this area. We had no indication of Bridget, of course, until July or August. We expect it to remain flat, so I think that's a conservative, but still good estimate there. If you recall, after recently, I was looking for $60,000 2 years ago. Page 12 is our advertising, promotion, marketing. 78 last year, 85 this year. The largest area there is travel, and that includes a couple of overseas trips for break bulk and some of the traditions. $8,000 each for those. The other big factor there is the joint contract budget. There is a little $76,000, $23,000 then designated for restricted fellow based on the last 2 or 3 years actual, and $53,000 remaining balance there is for needs to keep going. The annual audit, $22,000, we have proposal for the auditors, we have price improvement there. The information technology, of course, the procedures,
grant business here.
Would this be a good time with Governor Patterson talking about, and I know we're not the same municipality, but he will be looking at requests from municipalities to do a suspension of prohibited lighting, things like that. Would this be a good time to gather the different 50 on that website and divide it by the $16,000 annual charge and have to be released with the executive order, at least temporarily? Because here's my big thing. Although it's not the same thing, we don't derive our funds from the state, like, for example, the ski mill over in Kentucky, that sort of thing. My concern is this: we are probably going to be getting less matching funds for other projects. Our outside sources are probably going to be negatively impacted, which would mean then we could reallocate, meager the $16,000 to patch our runway that we're not going to get, FAA funding for and state matching funds. I'm just wondering if it's a really good time, as long as they're entertaining those requests, to entertain this sort of request.
This is a prime candidate for that type of request, simply because you look at the figures, not a lot of folks use it. It's very difficult to access, there's not a lot of bandwidth because there's infrastructure issues. And this is an excellent example of something that made sense when it was put in place, but with the actual reality of the situation, it just doesn't make sense to people. So this is something that I would agree that we should pursue.
So the APA has the same thing. Our agency has a grant, they're not grants requirements, but requirements of the county. And I'm just thinking that he's already opened his arms to say he'll be willing to embrace some changes. Maybe a good time to say, can you consider this executive order, at least temporarily suspending during fiscal crisis, because it will impact our funding too.
Well, this also has some technical problems. It doesn't function as it should because we don't have So, I wholeheartedly agree.
We have solid numbers from Radcliffe. We can say this is the number of hits we've had. I'm thinking that a motion is in order to ask the executive director to give action on things for the governor's consideration.
Go with your second bit. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Whatever it is, pass. More work to do.
Executive director.
They're covered, yeah. Debbie, they're covered, yeah.
You write that down, what was that?
Page 14 is our administrative expenses. The travel, postage.
What's that about?
Travel. Oh, we have budgeted $5,000. That one is this year. We're Washington and all the visits. Specifically, we need to go get our officials.
It's a lot.
There's more contact.
Those under general expenses, I was a little curious.
I just had Mark throw in a replacement for that.
And that's federal and state.
Under the telephone, $20,000 this year, $28,000 last year, in that match for the year before. We just recently, this is our first one, changed our long distance plan. We're hoping to save anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 on that. We had AT&T, which was a deferred advance rate, and we went to a flat $35 for the whole fine. For this bill, we just reduced $500 or so. We're seeing so anywhere from $500 to $1,200. And that's all. Time will tell.
There's also AT&T.
No, we don't have Verizon. We don't have local and long distance. If you're not into the airport, then you're going out there, probably not necessary. And all those ones out there are security related to the gates, so I don't want to mess with those too much. And the next thing we'll have would be the main terminal. They have 2 lines down there with the old connection fleet, so that's not very bad. Service contracts, we'll take a while. Here's some classification that you will kind of look at here in the future. Revenue market is $14,000 for that, which is the business period. Half release is $5,000. And the rest of those are the
simply maintenance issue almost. Sprinkler systems, range boundaries, that goes that. So let's do some look at that operations. The bank service fee is $6,000. Touch on that briefly. $3,000 of that goes to the annual bond. Fees for the custody store. $3,000 of the credit card charges for the airport fuel purposes. That service fee for credit cards. Page 15, the expenses, page 15 is the debt service. The revenue bonds, year 7 of 15. That's $799, not really changed from year to year. They structured that so that payment remains the same for all 15 years. Our retirement system, we're in year 4 of 10, of 82. Our total number is just slightly less than 7,000 for this year. And the first advances for the division budget is last year, 3,109 for that 4-year contract. For 2010 is a guess right now.
But that shows higher interest.
Yes, you'll see the revenue line. 314. The offset is increasing the principal. So nothing there that expired, just say. Page 16 is the capital projects. Here's the largest restricted placement project. We're looking at a $20 million project. Budgeting 14 this year and 6 next year. And our funding source for that are $90,000. At this point, we need to pay our vendors prior to getting paid, reimbursed by the state. We can handle the small payments, but when we start getting steel invoices and millions of dollars, we'll have to have some sort of gap funding for that local bank. And I've already talked to some of the banks that I don't think they'll have trouble at all getting some kind of there. So I'm estimating 30 days out with that 8%, which will be yeah, the image is just that well, I think it's could be the anticipation. Yeah, it's some kind of bridge funding. Not a bridge, but yeah.
Big funding and bridges.
Yeah. Like we're yeah, I mean, again, the banks are saying that she think we might want to focus the reimbursement from the state and the turnaround. And as of that, it's really simple. We've had a couple to go on deserving a project. But again, we have not put any pressure on the DOT either because
These also have this big ticket item.
right.
I would give you a game of
Yeah. It's on the feet. Yeah. That's it. But they've been very good talking about this, and they realize our problem here, our situation. They promised that when the structure centers will pay Global relocation is $2.5 million. Will be funded by the state. Well, maybe that's not true, but that's not true. That's just system upgrades. We've got our computer equipment out there at the full roof and treadles. We're not too sure how much of that is going to fall into the scope of the project yet. So we might get a shell of it and do the take our equipment and purchase it before we come to the equipment necessary. So we're kind of around the capabilities that the area with from last year. Funds there, we'd like to get that across the bridge. Connect us with Canada, look at small things, design, conservation improvements, and 2 vehicles. So our share is $188,000.
What is that connection in the Canada and the Philippines? Is everybody connected over there? So for that one, 2.
The whole idea, no, I mean, is there any other bridges connected into Canada?
All I know is down the Buffalo Road, we've got utility going over there, but I'm not sure.
That kind of is from third of Richmond.
Oh yeah, maybe 30%.
Mark, are these vehicles in addition to the ones we have tonight?
Yes.
Those are,
No, they're not.
there is two.
Which vehicle is it? This is the one that comes with the replace. The automobile is replaced in the 2000 model, and the pickup truck is replaced in the
93 Dodge. 93 Dodge is a 2001 column.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go back to page 1 and changing utilities of $3,000. Keep the net cash flow down the portion. Get there. Any questions before we jump to the report fund? The report fund, of course, is our three other business segments: range terminal, industrial park, the airport. Page 1 just breaks down the activity for three segments. At the operating profit loans, you'll see that the range terminal has a profit of $382,000. Industrial park 195, the airport has a loss of $270,000. After capital purchases, we've got surplus of 136. The industrial park deficit is low to the airport is 398. And the industrial park deficit is low to, and that's kind of a situational thing. The debt is after the revenue building. The rain is fully occupied debt, so that could turn around in a positive manner.
Pressure done, you say not fully occupied, do we have some,
We're budgeted approximately a year.
couple pages in here?
So that would be kind of the worst case scenario. And how should I expect? Page 2 is the rate criminal revenue. The court activity was $880,000 compared to $707 last year. This current year, this went through that assault, estimated at 150,000 tons, which is $670,000 gross revenue. We've got a new customer this year, Greenfield, right here across the river. Minimum 30,000 tons to be a contract for. We expect that to go through to be $111,000. All day, $830,000. We have some 3,000 tons of commodity active. That would be 18,000. And we have a scope for other commodities of 6,000 tons. We're estimating for $42,000 in revenue, which gives us the $140,000 total first revenues. Comparison to last year, we only budgeted for $4,000. So, we're just supposed to keep that. We did not have to budget last year at all. The warehousing. This is an annual contract. Apple, of course, much like your stuff that you have to do in our building. And the minimum tonnage agreements is due this year. That will be the other half of the tonnage. They don't come to this deal, $2,000. And the rate of contract will be Phase 3 is the industrial park.
There's actually half a year. Or something. There you go, Mary.
That's exactly what you know, the answer is given to that, you were asking.
I was splitting the curve for the figures. That's what I'm trying to write out. Page 4, the airport revenue. On the very first section, the 10 budget is air. The 9 budget was big specs contract. Just the air and that, the 10. And all this is good now, fully up with same something. Those sales of $100,000 and 10% profit margin on that, that's the double wash. We have the material number.
Yeah, let's use that too. That's why you say you're approaching between cost of sales and,
Well,
think about that.
and the cost for the pumps and that stuff is,
Past meeting.
Page 5 and 6 are the same salary we looked at earlier. Again, the temporary long term and an increase by $32,000 based on these activities. Page 7 is talking about pay benefits, insurance, collective retirement. Page 8 is the maintenance of the second line there, buildings and range remote. You'll see in 33108, the expense was $28,000. 13 of that was a unexpected roof repair for the spa. That's why this net actual gain is so much higher 2 years ago. Insurance covers that? We did not. The $1,000 last year. On that. We did mention that to our agent. Said it wasn't hopefully resolved.
So down from 49 to 54 to 21 budget, is that based on the opinion?
No, Mary, last year we were up so high because we made it against the loader.
Because of.
No, we don't solve. I mean, we had, because the other loaders were so heavy, we actually had a rental where for the salt season last year, and basically that difference right there is that we had the loader where we had insurance.
It was a very good drive. On page 9 is maintenance for the industrial report. Pages there. Page 10 is here.
How's our editorial working out? We changed it around a bit. We got a house with our dollars in, you know, contract and stuff.
Well, that's for this going.
Right.
You
Okay.
can see the road. Yeah. It's working out. It's a dust issue. Yeah. No, it's
Coming off, I like fire the main, but you just don't leave.
Because everyone's here Saturday or Sunday, they can take a day, and they're Saturday or Sunday, you go to work, so we can ship it Monday or Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, go home, and are up there, so they come down for 3 hours, try to get everything, and then shooting them off for the week, and 6 hours. So she
Yeah.
carry you to the back.
It's working out okay, right now. physical count green.
Security, safety, outreach, unit training, funding, or whatever, we are covered down here for every employee. So as opposed to doing it on site as we've done the last couple of years, we'll probably send a few people in Rochester to have their training for $4,000. And the legal coverage is the city's police force covering the flights at the airport. We have a contract in there for $16,000 cost there, so $19,000 is pretty number.
Yeah, let me just speak to that briefly, how that works. What we do for roadmap for the 5 years funding covering law enforcement coverage. We got money on that. We pass 100% of that through the city. Anything on the overtime is split 50-50 between the city and the division force. So let's take this
On the arc coverage, if I hear correctly, because the manufacturer claims that we don't have to do that.
That's correct. We still have to maintain the capabilities, but we do not have to provide our coverage on every single flight.
Page 12 is the utilities. We can take that up 3%, so we can raise that from 157 to 162. 3% on that. Page 13, we talked about insurance already. Page 15, which is the Page 16, which is the annual expenses. Page 17 is our debt service, $299,000 this year. You see something brand new is the booking building debt. We're committed in that $35,000 quote, so the interest for year 1 of that. The DOT access road at 0% interest for year 6 and 10. The retirement system year 4 and 10. The aggregated left building year 10 of 15. The left building addition on year 5 of 15. So basically nothing's going to mature there than the earliest is 4 to 5 years. So this will be very consistent as a useful law. We talked about the growth fund earlier, but that's 3,300 to start. So pretty good on that. Someday it might make sense to talk to Bill to see if we can pay that off. Page 18 to 19, capital, the airport, 95%, 2.5%, which we used to see under resolutions. Security fence, the company, roads and company funding, the infrastructure improvement being 1090, listed up. We elected $1.4 million for the port access bill. Funding is yet to be determined at this time for that. Security improvements that are in place for the $496,000 share, and there's a 25% match. $75,000. The only room equipment, the Bobcat, cruise and sleep. Some power lines underground for $60,000. Then the paving you see in the Ranger Home Industrial Park that carried over 2 years now. It's $40 million. 70 in the industrial park.
That was one of the property.
Yes, under the airport, we have for the capital plan in place, the 5-year capital plan. So those items are all fully out or going to be or at least planned.
Well, they're not for sure. They're in the capital.
Right.
There's a lot of the other stuff. Yeah, they need funding and all the other stuff.
These are operated placeholders until we get resolutions to actually send them.
hopefully it's not before. Again, for 2010, the railroad improvements, when we had the $5,000 change to utilities. That's all I had for that.
Now, we make our motion to, with those 3% changes, have you consistent?
Yeah, that'd probably be the safest thing to do for the council about it, when they come back to see what
Review it, move our division.
I make a motion.
Second by Bill. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Jeff, Mark, Jeff, Debbie, so to thank everybody for the work on the budget, a lot of work's gone into it. Sure, too, that. You go to elevate, you're going to be out of that, this was at 3 o'clock? There is a need for executive session this evening. Topic is litigation. Prior to going
Whatever you were definitely up to. Pretty active. You look like the snow, Brian. What a big day. What a big day for you. There's a motion for executive session. Until now. Motion made by Sal. Second by Stan. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Hey, all. Comes out of the executive session. We're going to call.